Why 2025 marked a turning point for K-pop and BTS fans. In India in 2025, K-pop moved beyond niche online fandoms to become a visible cultural force across India. Landmark visits by top stars and growing local collaborations signaled industry recognition, deeper cultural exchange, and India's rising importance in the global K-pop story. For years, K-pop in India existed largely in private spaces, be it fan cafes, ex-Twitter, timelines, late-night streaming parties, and group chats. It was passionate, organized, and loud online, but rarely acknowledged on the ground. In 2025, that equation shifted. This was the year K-pop stopped feeling like a distant cultural export and began functioning as a visible, lived presence in India. What makes 2025 a turning point isn't just visibility, it's intent. When K-pop came to India, literally, the most immediate change came through physical presence. After stupendous 2024 with Suho of EXO, along with Chen and Xiumin, BamBam and B.I, SHINee member Taemin's visit to India became one of the year's most defining fan moments, particularly for longtime followers who grew up on second-generation K-pop and had never expected to see such artists acknowledge Indian fans directly. Super Junior's Donghee and Yoonhyuk followed, bridging early K-pop fandoms with a younger audience that discovered the genre through streaming platforms. Jackson Wang's second visit to India further underlined the shift. His engagement went beyond performances, from local collaborations to immersing himself in Indian food and pop culture, culminating in a high-profile collaboration with Diljit Dosanjh. Even Korean indie band Wave to Earth performing in India signaled that the country is now on varied touring radars, not limited to top-tier idol acts. For Indian fans, long used to seeing global tours skip the region, these visits carried emotional and symbolic weight. Presence validates fandom. Backed by numbers, not just noise. The industry interest is also supported by data. According to YouTube's Global Music Insights over recent years, India consistently ranks among the top countries for K-pop video consumption. Spotify has similarly identified India as one of the fastest-growing markets for K-pop streams, driven largely by Gen Z listeners. Industry executives privately acknowledge that Indian K-pop listenership has grown in double digits year-on-year since the pandemic. By 2025, those numbers were no longer being treated as potential. They were actionable. Labels began to plan for India. Behind the scenes, the recalibration became visible. BTS parent company HYB's India launch is being touted to be strategic, a chance for many collaborations. G-Dragon's Galaxy Corporation and label behind groups like Twice, Stray Kids JYP Entertainment also signal growing interest, reinforcing the idea that India is no longer a future-facing market, but a present one. CJ ENM's partnership with MX Player added another layer, recognizing India not just as a consumer base for Korean content, but as a distribution ecosystem worth investing in. This matters because K-pop thrives alongside K-dramas, reality formats, and fan-led digital culture. In 2025, these verticals began aligning more locally, a two-way cultural conversation. What also sets 2025 apart is how cultural exchange became more reciprocal. Stray Kids Bang Chan revealed that their songs, Ceremony, and album Karma were inspired by Bollywood music and style. This reflected a genuine cross-border musical influence. Mix expressed an interest in collaborating with Indian singer Janita Gandhi, which again paved way for collaborations. Jenny's Like Jenny, featuring musical textures reminiscent of Rocky or Ronnie, further highlighted this cross-cultural flow. For Indian fans, these moments mattered. They marked a shift from surface-level borrowing to cultural recognition. The Jackson Wang, Diljit Dosanjh collaboration exemplified this change. It didn't dilute either artist's identity. Instead, it expanded the idea of what global pop collaboration can look like. Engagement beyond concerts. Another notable shift in 2025 was how Korean stars began engaging with India beyond performances and fan events. Jungkook's first solo exhibition in Mumbai stood out, not just for its scale, but for treating Indian fans as participants in a global cultural experience rather than peripheral consumers. The year also saw sharper, more intentional cross-industry collaborations. Actor Siddhant Chaturvedi and South Korean star Chae Subin coming together for a campaign shot in Mumbai stood out as a rare moment of equal cultural footing. Unlike earlier celebrity endorsements that leaned heavily on global novelty, the collaboration placed both artists within an Indian urban setting. J-Hope's sister visiting India for her brand launch further reflected the widening footprint of Korean pop culture into lifestyle, fashion, and entrepreneurship. Brand partnerships, too, became more locally attuned. When artists like IU, 17 Joshua and Mingyu, and BTS Jungkook front campaigns aimed specifically at Indian consumers, it signaled growing confidence in cultural resonance, not just global popularity. The BTS question, hovering over all of this, is the most anticipated possibility of all: BTS. In 2025, speculation around potential India tour resurfaced, fueled by HYB's increasing engagement with the region. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the fact that the conversation feels plausible marks a major shift. A few years ago, it would have sounded aspirational. Today, it feels strategic. Why 2025 matters. Beyond headlines and hashtags, 2025 stands out because it marks the moment Indian K-pop fandom moved from the margins to the mainstream. It's a year fan passion translated into industry presence, and industry logic finally aligned with audience reality. Indian K-pop fans have always been global in outlook and deeply local in emotion. In 2025, those two identities met halfway. What comes next, be it tours, deeper collaborations, original content, or even India-linked training systems, feels less like speculation and more like direction. This isn't the peak. It's the pivot.